Hello and welcome to Paper Plays Julie K.
Welcome everyone, and thank you so much for stopping by to check out my latest video. And today I'm continuing on with the Junk Journal January 2025 prompts hosted by Meg Journals here on YouTube. And today's prompt is repeat. And so what I thought about this one is maybe we could just repeat a previous prompt or two, or elements of the previous prompts. And so this was the page that we did yesterday, and I did it on a paper bag, and so there is a pocket in here. And so I was thinking that for the first prompt, I'm going to say that I'm going to redo like the hidden prompt, which was week number 9, because whatever I put in here is going to be hidden. So then I thought, well, then I'll pull out some index cards or a index card to stick in there. And so I've already kind of cut it down so that it would fit in there. And this is still not staying shut very well that I did yesterday. I probably should have put something here too. Well, I think once it's in the journal, this page will be fine. So, for now. But, okay, so back to my original train of thought. Sorry about that, guys. So this will be hidden. So I'm repeating that one. I also really enjoyed like the neutral background, and so I still have a lot of those papers that I did, so I thought, well, I can just cover one side of this journal card with that. I like to leave one side where I can journal on, so I just figured we could decorate one side. And I also have tissue paper left over from, not yesterday, but the day before that I had stamped on. So I figured I could add that because that kind of matches the neutral background. I also pulled out some neutral tickets, and one of the days we had neutral, tickets. I did remember to stamp my 22 for today. And let's see, I also, the day that we did Fragile, I still have some of this paper left and also part of this doily, so might be able to incorporate this. I know I grabbed more than what will probably fit on one side, but it's better to have too much. Again, some of those old antique, from the day we did antique pages, I also have a little piece left over from the day we did the magazine. And then also just kind of another one besides all the neutral papers that I had used before. I did find another envelope, and we had an envelope day. And this one I was just thinking, if I use it, I'm just going to cut out the word that says Arthur on here in Hettinger, North Dakota, because that's my grandma's handwriting, and she obviously wrote something to my grandpa. So that was, my grandpa's name was Arthur. So I might rip that out just to have part of this envelope again, another envelope on here. So we'll just kind of play, but those are kind of the elements that I had kind of still sitting on my desk and pieces left over from the previous one. So that's how I'm going to do today, is just kind of repeat parts of some of the other prompts. Oh, and then the other thing that I found too in my stash, because I was reorganizing my washi tape the other day, and I found this washi tape that has tulips on it. So I do have I have the small theme of tulips running through my journal. So, and this I think is kind of neutral enough to go with my neutral paper. So I might just put a little bit of that too on the journal card. And I think I'll probably go around it with the sewing machine before I stick it in. And I also pulled out some trim that I like, that I'm going to put on the edge, because then that'll kind of show out from the pocket. So for sure I'm going to do that, and it'll have to be on that side. So let me just find a paper to start with. Like I said, I know I have more than what I need. I thought I had. Yeah, here we go. I like this one. This writing on this one. This is kind of like some rag. This is the antique paper. I like the writing on that one, and then I also like this hand script one, so for sure I want to use some of both of those on here. And I think I'm just going to glue some of the elements down that I know I like. I might not glue like right up to the edges, because then I can add a little bit more glue and pull it off if I need to. But I do like this one, so I'm not too worried about putting this one down. So that's a start. You know, it'd be nice to for sure maybe add one of these tickets on here. You know, and that's easy enough to do. You know, I'll take one from that magazine that we did when I had that on here. So maybe I could put that there. What else? Or what do oh, you know, maybe I want to take just this little part on this advertising. This came from that magazine too. I think I like this one a little bit better. And I have some music paper here. The other thing I was thinking about, just for some of you, if you're like, if you don't want to use like what I'm using for a prompt today when it's repeat, if you have music, sometimes there's the word repeat on the music. And I did, before I started filming, I did look at all my paper scraps to see if any of my paper scraps said repeat on any of the music, and they didn't. Otherwise, I would have tried to maybe incorporated that word into it. I'm pretty sure that none of these said repeat that I had. And I didn't want to spend time looking for one like that. So, but that's another idea. All right, so that's not bad. What else do I have? I'm trying to just force myself to use what's on my desk instead of grabbing, you know, something new. That's from a different book. So that wouldn't be bad. And I need to put the number 22 on here. I just don't know. Oh yeah, my grandma's letter. Where'd that go? I just don't know if I need some sort of focal point on here or not, is the problem. I did pull this out from my stash, which is kind of fun. I mean, I suppose I could just cover all this. And then I would be done with it. This one just was some ephemera, but what I liked about this one, it says artist and photographers, because I kind of consider myself an artist a little bit, and my husband does photography, so I just thought that was kind of a fun one. So maybe I will just add a focal point, because I don't know that I'm going to like it if I don't do that. So we can add some of this doily yet on here, I think. And where did this go? So if I put this on here, and I could, you know, label, put that up in the corner and maybe put some trim underneath it, because then again we had the prompt that was trim, or I might just put some lace underneath it. So I'm trying to decide if I do want to use any part of this. You know, maybe I'll save the part that has my grandma's handwriting on it, but I could maybe add this little part up here to it. Just the little stamp thing. And I don't really like the purple part of it. So let's just rip that off. I think that'll still kind of work. I kind of covered that ticket up back there, but we can maybe layer another ticket on top there. And then if I add that trim, and let's see, so I could put that up in the corner, and then earlier in the journal, you know, I had used some of this trim or lace, and I'd used some of this. And of course, I'm off camera a little bit. Sorry, guys. I could just put, you know, layer this with this underneath it, I think. You know, so then I'm repeating some elements that I added to the journal. I think I like that idea. So we'll do that, and, you know, I can add a little eyelash trim in there too. Cut off, I don't like that piece. Let me cut off a different piece. So I think that'll work. I don't know what you guys think. I think I have enough stuff there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and glue all this down, and I'm gonna sew around the edges and sew on the trim, and then I will come back and show you the finished result. And what I also might do is on the back side of this index card, I might just make a little, glue down just a little bit of one of these music sheets or one of these scraps sitting to my side just to use up another piece, but I'm not gonna flip it over and do that right now. I was gonna add some tissue paper. Can still do that. Maybe. Yeah, we can just go like that. I'll glue it and cut it off. You know, I'll just take a little snippet of it and glue it on there. So that'll work. So I will be back as soon as I've glued everything down and sewn around the edges. So I did finish gluing everything down and adding the trim on the edge and sewing around the edges. And I just wanted to show you what it looked like. And then there is the back side. And so again, today's prompt for day number 22 was repeat. So I just repeated some of the previous prompts and kind of mixed them together. So I have fragile on here with the this particular piece of paper up here and the doily that was falling apart. I also have the letter prompt as I took off the little, or not letter, but envelope prompt, which is day 2. And I took that off of an envelope that had the postmark on it. There's tissue paper right here. So that was from the day that we had tissue paper. I also have the antique on here because this is some antique paper right here. The day that I used a magazine, here's an old magazine piece up here. The tickets, there's 2 tickets on here from the day we did tickets. And then also there was a day where we did neutral, so the whole layout is kind of a neutral color. And then I was going to add, and I wanted to do that with you guys. I wanted to add just a repeat of something that I've been putting in the journal whenever I come across it, is just that little bit of like a tulip on here. I don't know, I might put it on the back side. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to put it on the back side. So I'm going to repeat one of my own things that I've kind of had throughout the journal, which is the tulip. Whenever I've been finding that in my stash, I've been trying to add it. So I had this washi tape with the tulips on it. So I'm just going to add that across the bottom. So that's kind of my repeat. And then also on the back side, the other day we did map. And so I had a piece of that paper left, so I went ahead and added it, and then the tissue paper got carried over to the back side. So I had quite a few prompts that we've done so far in Junk Journal January that I repeated. And then the last one that I repeated is that it's hidden. So this whole journal card is from the day that we also talked about, you know, hidden stuff. That time I did a hidden journaling spot, which this also is a hidden journaling spot, because it's going to be inside of this pocket. And once it's in, all you're really going to see is this. So then you think that that's what's in there, is just some lace on the edge. So I think that works really good. And I'm still having problems with this one from yesterday. I maybe should have had this piece be a little bit longer. But again, once I think it'll be fine once I glue it or attach it into my signature. So that was for today's. Again, the prompt was hidden, or not hidden. So that was today's prompt, again, which is repeat. I really like how it turned out. And I'm going to go ahead and look at tomorrow's prompt. So tomorrow is newspaper. So I will find something to do with newspaper, and I'm going to put it on this inside of this bag, and it has a little pocket here, so I might have to glue that shut. So that'll be my next prompt that I will work with tomorrow for day number 23. So thank you again, everybody, so much for watching, and until next time, have a wonderful day and happy crafting.